Yo, it's the Drop Night Show, and we back here on Water Ice Radio. I got my homegirl, K Wonder.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
We got my boy, DJ Tone Start, finally in the building. And we have Jay Qualified. He's a little late, but that's who he is. But tonight, we got a hell of a show tonight.
I'm excited about the show.
We have Philly's own Lihtz in the building.
And yes, we got Lihtz in the building.
In the building.
What's up?
He is here.
The man in the hour.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Nah, definitely.
You know what's crazy real quick though? Like, you know, I never seen this brother before, but like the song playing as we come back, I'm like, damn, this my shit right here. he like, everything. I'm like, oh, all right, that's what's up. Like,
so that's love. You know, a lot of people say that. A lot of people know the song, but they just don't know the face. You feel me? They heard the record 1,000 times. They played. They might know all the words, and then, like, damn, that's you. That's what I feel. That was you. And I'll be like, yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? So you know, it's definitely a gift and a curse, though. But.
So, Lihtz, let's get into this interview with you. So, where did it all start from? Where did you get the interest in rap?
Man, my uncle, he rap. So, you know, naturally, because my uncle rap, I thought I could do it. I wanted to do it. And, you know, I was young. He would just have me, like, spit for his homies and shit. And pretty much, I'd be like 4 or 5. And I just be cursing. You know, I'm talking about just, he thought it was the most hilarious shit ever. You know, watch this shit, watch this, or spit something. And I just start cursing. You feel me? It ain't rhyming nothing. It just was, and naturally, you know, over a course of time, you put words to it, and then I think I just got passionate really with this shit when I graduated high school. I'm like, this is probably what I'm gonna do. And then by the time I had my daughter, I was like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it ain't no other option.
Yeah.
So it's like this shit became a full-time job.
Okay.
Man.
So, when you decided to do that, what was when you recorded your first song, what was that song?
I don't know. I can't even tell you. I cannot even tell you, bro. I'm probably, since then, probably 1,000 songs. You know what I mean? That was probably 5 years ago. So, I can't even tell you. I don't even got the hard drives and the music from that fucking computer. I just, the other day, hit the nigga up. My homie was like, damn, you remember Dave from Second and Third? I'm like, shit. I wonder where he been at. Found his name on motherfucking Instagram and followed him. Then hit him up. He's like, yeah, bro. I don't record like that no more. I'm like, oh shit, Dave gave up. Like,
Yo, it's hard out here when you like in this industry. It's hard when you don't come up on that lick.
Right.
It's hard.
Right.
You give up.
You gotta be passionate about it.
Yeah.
So what part of Philly are you from?
From uptown.
You uptown? Okay.
Uptown, yeah. You know, I was born in West Philly. But I'm from uptown. I lived uptown majority of my life, and then I moved back down west. So my rap career, I was down West Philly majority. So people always thought, "Oh, he from West." I mean, I hear people say that, "Oh yeah, West Philly," but I'm like, "No, nigga, I'm from uptown."
Okay, right.
You know, naturally, you know, that's what comes with it. But at the end of the day, you know, I really rep uptown. I'm an uptown.
I'm an uptown dude too. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, like,
You can see, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can see him, right?
yo,
Shots fired.
We're not even gonna get on his
you're not even built for the type of smoke. Like, you know, you better stop. Back to what I was saying, we from uptown, right? And a lot, like, you know, I moved around the city when I was a little bit younger, and the number one thing people say about uptown, like, oh, y'all got grass, y'all got, and I be trying to explain to them, like, really don't get it messed up. Like, it happens everywhere in the city, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it ever a time where you, like, not necessarily had to let somebody know, because that's usually what it is, but, like, had to remind somebody in a way, like, you know, it's cold everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't really even get into that. You know what I mean? I'm one of them type of dudes, like, I stand for me. You could have dropped me in the middle of Connecticut and I would have still been me. You know what I mean? So I think we get that idea that where you from define who you are. And in some cases it do.
Correct.
But in some cases I know a nigga from the heart or wherever and he's a nut. And then I know some niggas from the middle or somewhere and they thorough as shit. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not out here trying to prove that, oh, this is the hardest or this is the, I'm trying to prove that I'm the realest, I'm the thoroughest, I'm me. You feel me? It ain't about whether you think uptown is sweet, bro. You alright, when you come uptown and you do whatever you do and you see what happens, you know what I mean? And vice versa. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I feel like that shit that shit really, like, really what they want to prove is that my side of the city is more violent than yours.
Right.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Like, we need more violence.
I'm not the nigga that's going to condone that. You feel me? I'm more or less just like, either you thorough or you not. You feel me? Either you real or you not. I don't give a fuck where you from.
That's true.
That's all over the world. You feel me? Like, so I feel like some niggas is from hoods where they're like, oh, I'm from Harlem, I'm from this, that, and the other, and it's like, you still playing. You feel me? Like, I'm from North Philly, you still a weirdo. You feel me? It don't matter where you from. It's like,
it boils down to the individual.
Exactly.
So, like, what were some of the artists you looked up to growing up, like, that you would play?
Jay-Z, you know, Hov, naturally, just, like I said, my uncle was a rapper, so naturally just being around older rappers, listening and staying true to, you know, hip-hop, but growing up, you know, Mac, Stay Property, from Philly.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I mean, I always just had an ear for other music. I think I get that from my mom, so I still listen to Lauryn Hill. You know, that's like my favorite artist. Growing up, cleaning the crib on Sundays and Saturdays.
Yes.
Lauryn Hill. My mom, Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? Still listening to Steve Harvey,
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder, yeah. And I'll be honest, it took me a long time to appreciate him. I'm like, I don't know why y'all like Stevie Wonder. He can't really sing.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so yeah.
So naturally, as a kid, you hearing it, but it's when I got older and I listened to the music.
Mind you,
like,
he produces,
right,
sings, composes everything.
Lights don't go down this hole with her.
Right.
Every time we got an artist of a certain age on the show, she want to get into her. Oh, you don't know Cab Calloway. You don't know Etta James. You know what I'm saying? Let me get there.
Yo, don't get mad because I appreciate real music, like real too.
She want to ask you to beatbox next. Don't even go down that hole.
Can you beatbox?
No,
look, listen, if you're an artist, you should be able to appreciate the realness. Those people actually like put the foundation for us to be having conversations like this. You know what I mean? And they did it in an era where they had nothing, like the least amount of means possible.
They had to walk 5 miles to the studio with the snow up there.
Like real shit. Like if you see their stories and how they came up, like it's crazy. But like for me, it was like the sound back then, in like the early in the 80s, the 70s, the early 90s. That was like a whole different frequency. That was just like real music. And I'm not taking away from what people do now because there are some artists that I'm really fond of in this era. But back then, it was just like wow. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so I'm glad.
I mean, I think even with that though, it's just about the time. You know, it's like if you really think about it, all right. Rap wise, if you grew up and if you 55 or 45 now, you might listen to Run DMC. And when you listen to Run DMC and then you heard NWA, like this ain't rap.
Right.
So at each person time is going to be, so now we are at where we become a little bit older and it's a new generation and they might like Lil Uzi. And naturally we say, oh, this ain't rap. But it's like, no, this just not our rap. You feel me? But I'm not going to discredit what's your generation. I'm just not going to say that I relate to it or I'm in love with it as much as what's from my era. You feel me? It's like if you go to, like my mom was talking about it then, KFC ain't the KFC it used to be, and I'm like, you can't say that to my daughter.
Right.
It's the only KFC she knows. He's like, I don't like watching the new movies because they remake it. Wonder Woman ain't, and it's like, Mom, she just told me she loved Wonder Woman.
Right.
So it's like, that's your perspective from your time. And if you try to, it's like, oh, LeBron James better than Jordan, we'll never know. You feel me? Let LeBron be in LeBron era and Jordan be in Jordan era. It's a good argument if you want to, but the truth is, you never really know.
Do you listen to any other genres of music like rock, country?
I listen to a lot of like, I was in the car just now and I was saying like how a lot of times when because I've been on MTV numerous times and people think that it's like, it's a labyrinth thing, but it's like they don't actually go look at the box and then follow you or look you up. And I said, probably the only time I ever remember doing that is when I first heard Adele. This was probably like, I was playing 11th grade. She ain't pop off yet enough and she had a song called Chasing Pavements. What the fuck is this chubby white girl who got this black voice?
Right.
And so I went to go listen to her. I'm listening to her and probably a couple years later she became the I didn't even see it. I probably was counting her out like, there's no way she gonna pop off, but I still like her music, but I listen to all styles of music just because, you know, naturally, as an artist, I want to have as much versatility as I can. A lot of times, if you don't listen to the music, it's going to be hard for you to be inspired and make something different.
Right, that's true. That's
I
right.
was listening to you talk about, people having their era and so on and so forth. And I ask this question to every artist I meet. Like, at some point, do you think that a lot of the critics of the music is being hypercritical over the content of the music now? Like, they feel that the actual lyrics that's being said not as profound. Like, I feel like they dig a little too deep. Do you feel like they going too in depth to these artists and just not letting them cook and do their thing?
See, I try to look at everything from every side. That's what I really do. I try to sometimes take myself out of the situation. It's like if you ever arguing like with your girl or something, and you have a debate about something, you'll notice like if you wasn't in this debate, you will understand exactly where I'm coming from. But the fact that you in it now, all of a sudden these rules don't apply to you. So it's like when I look at them scenarios, I say, all right, you got these young niggas that just don't do what y'all did for whatever reason. Maybe it's technology, maybe it's the time, or whatever it is. And then you got these older people that's like, damn, how you niggas is surpassing or doing the things that we never done. For the very reason you just said. We had to walk in the snow. We didn't have no punch-in. We had to do the whole song straight or we had to do it again. So that means you on the clock.
Factual.
You niggas sitting there for 45 minutes smoking weed in your session. And it's like, we never did that. I knocked out 10 songs in 1 hour. And it's like, bro, that was your journey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going, you may not respect their journey. You have every right to feel how you feel. But at the same time, it's like, stop trying to make their situation your situation.
Okay.
But from the vice versa, it's like, if you watch a movie like Brown Sugar, you know that they talking about the game, they was really predicting what is happening today. And it's like, it's commercialized. The industry can dictate the image that y'all see by controlling the artists that we put out.
Correct.
But the reality of it is, them same motherfuckers that's complaining, when a nigga that come out and do that, y'all don't go hard for them like the people that's on this side go hard for them. So if you Joe Buttons and you mad as shit about Migos, well, why don't you go do a song with Dave East? Or why don't you pump Dave East? Because instead of tearing them down, build up what you want to do. You too focused on the wrong shit. And it's like you more so worrying about hate instead of worrying about trying to build something up that's on your side.
Man, like, I love having these conversations with artists because we don't know what it takes to make a song, and you just broke that down,
Right.
which your fans will appreciate because they just not listening to the song. They hear the meaning of the song.
Right.
So, from that song, take us back to the first day you met Meek Mill.
That's crazy. I was looking at a picture the other day, and it was I was coming from Chicago on an airplane. I was going to LA because I was filming for Empire. This was about 3 years ago. And I mean, I had seen him before, been around him, but this was our formal introduction, right? And I ended up flying from Chicago straight to LA. And my first time meeting him, we actually ended up going right to the club. We was in the studio. I probably was in the studio for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And we leave out, and the way they move is different than, I ain't really seen too many other artists, period, that move this way. Cause it's like, we in LA, but they probably got like 8 or 9 Maybachs or Bentleys or lined up all black. You know what I'm saying? It's like the president coming. You know what I'm saying? We get in the car, let me get in the back with him. And Maybach, and we go to the club, and they literally in there for 15-20 minutes, and then we go back to the studio. You know what I mean? We cook up, and that week what was happening was he had like 10-hour sessions. So for the first 5 hours he wouldn't come, so he would just say, "Like, go down there and knock out some shit."
Wow.
And then for the first 5 hours, this was probably like 4 or 5 days in a row. So we probably got like 10 songs together, 8, 9 songs together, but we didn't release none of them. But the whole experience in itself was different because you could just tell, like, just being in Philly, a lot of times we don't really appreciate people from Philly and their success for what it is. And it's not until you really see it that you know, oh shit, Cuz really boss. Cuz really bossing the fuck up. Like, we can say whatever you want, all the hate, whatever. Cuz really running his own show. You feel me? Like, it felt like, damn, you felt like a motherfucker might have been around. You could tell. You could just see that everything that he was doing, it was seasoned. And everybody that was around him understood, this the bag. Move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn near like if you fuck up, you gonna feel like you fucked up because
Right.
it's like it's protocol. We 7-8 years into doing this.
Wow.
You should know how to move, and it's like that's why a nigga like him ain't get a snitch. It's chain snitch. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's why a nigga like him don't really worry about how he move in another city or state because they understand that it's a certain way of doing shit. And it's like even at this level, don't ever just think that we just popping up and it's just I'm just that nigga to be no. That's what the hood wants you to think. Oh, you know I'm Jeezy, I'm the realest nigga ever, and it's like even Jeezy, even all these real niggas understand. All it takes is one bad clip that y'all get that tail end of it and y'all post it, and that shit could ruin me. So it's like we can't afford that. We gotta move a certain way. If I ain't take nothing from that shit, I got back to the city. I'm like, nigga, if you ain't moving right, get away from me. Because at the end of the day, when this shit go left, it's not gonna be the entourage, it's gonna be Lihtz.
Yeah,
Right.
precisely. Like he's the one in jail now, right?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
support myself, not his entourage. Even though they are making a lot of noise. Or how did you feel about that situation? Like, real briefly, how did you feel?
oh man, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, like we see this shit every day.
Right.
It just so happened to be a figure that has a voice to really say something to be able to change it. But it's like, I got homies that's in and out the system to this day, you feel me, right now. Like literally, oh, my man, I was at my crib this morning, he's like, bro, yeah, I'm living at this crib. Well, I really wasn't living there, but you know, my situation was there on my parole paperwork. They didn't tell me at the last minute that they was moving. So now they're moving Friday. I had to tell my parole agent that they moving, and I gotta go see them on Monday now, just because they moved and I didn't tell them in enough time. And technically, that's a violation. Now send me back upstate today.
Wow.
They can.
They will, yeah.
For you moving and not letting me know.
Yeah, you're close
You know what I'm
to
saying?
the
So it's like at the end of the day, I'm trying to get my life in order. I'm trying to do the right things. I may not be perfect. I may have made mistakes. But the whole is the system designed to put me back in there or to keep me from out of here.
Put you back.
You know what I mean? And when you look at it, you feel like when I make some small mistake like this, y'all send me back all the way up and I gotta start all over again. That sounds like y'all want me to lose.
Yeah.
Opposed to be like, damn, I see you've been trying, you working, you got
Hasn't
certain
Meek
shit
been
going
on
on.
probation for like 12 years now? He's been some like
Right.
mad long
Right.
probation.
The crazy thing
Even
about
feds don't do that long. Yeah?
Even the judge, she got a history. This ain't no new shit.
Right.
I run into niggas every day. I had the same job.
the same
She did
judge.
the same thing to me. Niggas be like, I don't think he getting out. He gonna do the 2 years because it's like niggas. And I'm just saying that's not. I'm talking about the streets is saying.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
factual,
having disputes like, no, you tripping because you ain't me, nigga.
Right.
Because you
That's
is you
just
2 years don't
Right.
mean. But the reality of it is, and
She
it's some
don't-
real shit. It's still Meek against America. You
Yeah.
feel me?
It's
No
Meek
matter
against-
how
it's
big
Meek.
you get.
Against that court system.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The American court system, because
When they
even
put
though
that
the judge is
paperwork
doing it, she's doing it within the guidelines of the law.
Right.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like she taking advantage, but at the end of the day, she ain't breaking the law unless they come and change what's the law. And that's the dilemma that make it sketchy because it's like, let's just say if he do get out, now they may have to go look at certain cases and say, damn, this is the same thing that happened
This
here.
person. But they won't do that because then that's when the whole wall falls down about
Right,
how grimy
right.
and shady they are. So I appreciate you. You said an honest answer. I was looking to see if you was gonna be on some, you know what I mean? But he's a stand-up guy because his situation was just a voice because there's millions of people going through the same
Right,
thing. You know what I mean?
right.
I myself personally went through it. So you know, shout out to Meek Mill. Keep your head up and you know what I mean. Everything's gonna be love.
So
one
how
thing-
did
hold
you-
on real quick. One thing I want to say about that, and I just be trying to give people a little bit of game. Like, even when you secure the bag and you got money, you once you put yourself in their hands, they got you forever. You know what I'm saying? You can no longer lawfully carry a gun. At certain points in times, if you was on paper, you couldn't even vote. Like, they designed this system to strip us from our family, our wives, our children.
Your
So
freedom.
they can had this perpetual cycle of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That was the Willie Lynch theory, to take the black man out of the home and have the family resent him. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't never knock somebody hustle because I ain't in these shoes, but I just wish that all the brothers and sisters out here can figure out another alternative to get to the bag, because they gonna throw you away, they gonna forget about you. You gonna go up there young and come back with a lick gang, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy and that's for real.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
So how did it come to getting Never Lose? How did that come about?
That shit kind of the same thing when it's just crazy how this shit work. I wrote a song around that time. Around that time that I was down there my first time meeting me, I was kicking it with his homie Fat Reese. That's really how we got introduced. And we did a song. He was cool with Chris Brown. Like, yo, make a song, and I'm gonna sing it to Chris Brown. So I made like 4 songs, and one of the songs is a song that they kind of like. I don't know if they ever sent it to Chris Brown or not, but like 2 years later, 3 years later, you see a picture of Meek and Trey Songz in the studio. Reese hit me the next day like, yo, bro, you out of here, bro. You got a hit. Meek and Trey Songz did the song over that you wrote. I'm like, oh yeah? Okay, cool. You know, and he like, yeah, we're gonna need the information. It's 2 years later. The beat was from my email. I'm trying to find a producer that made the motherfucker. So now they on my ass. I don't know who the nigga is. I met him through somebody that I don't have contact to. So I'm trying to find him. Everybody that I know trying to find him. And in the process of trying to find him, and I know the dude, I'm trying to find him. And so in the process of trying to find him, I'm like, yo, I'm about to drop the ball. These niggas, they got a crazy opportunity for me, and I'm about to drop the ball. I gotta give him something. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna give him a whole nother song, and hopefully he like this song. So I played the song, and I'm like, I actually had a whole nother song to never lose. It was a whole different. I was singing it one day in front of a girl that was at my crib with my homie, and probably like after Never Lose came out, she called me like, you remember the song that you had that went to it at first? That shit was hot too. And I'm like, damn, I forgot all about that. I had a whole nother song to it. But long story short, Meek and them ended up hitting me back. I actually found a producer. I got the information, sent it to him. They ended up calling me back like a week later. His engineer, he like, yeah, we like that song, but the other one you sent, cuz want to use that on the project, so we not even worried about that song no more. I'm like,
wow.
So, you know, they tell me that they want to use it on the project, and I've had this kind of happen with them. It's just like, they like a record, they want to use it, but he really got like 1,000 songs. You know what I mean? When he go to a pin, I don't know how he pick his selection, because you only cutting it down to 15 songs, 12 songs, how many songs on the project. And so I'm like, even though I know that they might genuinely want to use this record, it's a possibility that they may not.
Right.
So I never knew that they was really, we signed paperwork, everything was legitimate, but I still never really knew for sure that they was doing it. So I seen the track list. That shit was probably like 3 weeks before the project came out. So 6 months probably went by, 5 months went by. That shit was crazy because it like, you never want to be disappointed. And you never want to be kind of like, speaking on shit and it don't be, yeah, like, so it's kind of like, naturally you act like it's nonchalant. Yeah, you know, they might use it.
Yeah.
But then when you really see it, it's like, oh shit, they using it. Oh shit, we out here. Like, I even taken the whole process. So at some point in time, I'm like, when the song come out, they release, I'm like, yo, watch, LeBron gonna sing this shit. LeBron sang this shit, we getting a Nike endorsement, we out of here. 2 weeks later, ESPN, LeBron James is singing the hook. You feel me? And it's like, some of this shit is, I don't believe in coincidences at all.
Right.
I don't believe in it. I don't think nothing happens by accident in life. I believe every single thing. You may not know what it means, but it means something. So some of this was what it was ordained, and some of it was still like I had to do the work to make it happen. I spoke it in existence, but it ain't like I'm just that amazing. Right. I just say shit and it happened. Right. I'm not fucking psychic. No, I saw what I wanted, and then I did the steps to make it happen. You know, and when that happens, sometimes other shit like LeBron James just end up singing it because I'm trying to make this shit apply to Meek life, not realizing that everybody may appreciate the fact that I've been down before, y'all counting me out. But even when I lose, I'll never lose because I learned from my loss. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Hey, can we get an amen?
Amen.
You know
we
what?
sitting here with a real artist.
Yeah, and I love his energy.
He's smart.
Very
He
smart.
knows
Very
what he
intelligent.
wants. Like that process that you was talking about, when you start your project, you're going to get a lot of producers.
Right.
You're going to get songs with hooks.
So wait, are you signed?
I mean, I'm a dream chaser.
Okay.
You know, it's yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a lot of
So you got that
red tape.
Def Jam under you, or is you?
No, that's the whole thing. It's like this. The way the contract's set up is really not all the way outside. It's more or less like a shopping deal. So it's like, you know, the reality of it is I'm just, to be honest with you, and I don't know if it's common, but I really like to be a man of my word. So we had to understand that we just really had to get through paperwork. But they put the project out and me on it without me being signed. The week after that, I had 5 label meetings lined up.
Wow.
I only went to 1. And I went to the 1 and I was just like, I feel like I'm being a crumb. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of niggas don't do that type shit. A lot of niggas be like, fuck that.
I'm taking it.
I could probably get a half a ticket right now without you niggas. And you niggas don't get none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I tried to be a man of my word. You feel me? Like, even though we technically it wasn't like, oh, if y'all put this on there, I got it. But I just felt like it would have felt, if I was in his shoes and I did that shit, I probably would have been like, I'll never do that again.
Right.
If I would have went somewhere else. And it's like, at the end of the day, sometimes you do gotta do what's best for business, but then sometimes I really like to do what is like, you know, the right thing to do because I feel like my blessings will come in another way. You feel me? So it's like, it's hard balance because there's a lot of crafty motherfuckers in there. Sometimes you being more loyal to them than they being loyal to you.
Yes.
But even then, I'm not gonna allow your nut shit to make me do nut shit. You feel me?
I swear to God, I like this man. He's talking to truth.com, y'all. Truth.com. This has been a really good interview. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed this interview.
Another segue into his another work.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Fake shit.
Fake shit. That's kind of what we talking about right now. That's appropriate.
That's perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
This is Fake Shit Lights on the Drop Night Show with Ice Radio.
And then, you
We
know,
are back to the Drop Night Show. You know what I'm saying? We got the good brother Lihtz in here talking some
Real
clothes
real
talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real talk.
He got a session going on. He took time away from getting at his bag to come talk with us. So that's
Greatly
part of my
appreciate
bag too, though. You know what I mean? It's a part of my bag too.
Thanks for
You know
showing
what I
Philly
mean?
again some more love. You know
I
what I mean?
appreciate
And
y'all
the
for
world.
having me.
Yo,
Great
we was
interview.
kind of low key talking about, you know, opportunities and what's right for another person and not forcing stuff like that
Right.
during the break. Like, it's a lot of industry plants. Like, I call them industry plants. Like, what's that little young lady that got the deal to catch me outside?
Oh, Lord. The right
and like different things. And I was looking at a T-Pain interview and they asked him about that joint he did with Taylor Swift. And he was like, yeah, they got me on that joint, but the bag was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as opportunities go, and not in the name of an artist or a name of a person, like, what's the kind of thing that you would say, well, that's unfuckwittable? What as an artist, like, dealing with this game, because I know it get wacky, where you draw your line in the sand with these folks? As far as collaborations go.
As far as what? Like who I collaborate with?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
because you can't draw a line in the sand when you're still on your grind, because you got work network. I'm saying, like, as far as like if somebody wants you to do a collaboration with a type of vibe, like what's not your vibe?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Style wise, I feel like it ain't no artist in the world that I can't get on a record and find some way to be myself on that record and it still sound good. But at the same time, I be feuding with my people right now. They're like, man, this nigga hot in the city, do a record with him. I don't like it. I don't like his song. I don't like what he posts on social media. I don't like the people I don't like nothing about him. But they like, he might got 1,000 views in 2 seconds. You tripping. And it's like, sometimes I have to be a businessman. Sometimes I gotta be an artist. And then sometimes I gotta be me. You feel me? I'm always me. But at the same time, it's like, niggas get it fucked up that they think that, because I rap, that I don't have rules anymore. Or I have no structure.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to go to college because that shit just too... Bro, it's still... I can't just wear anything as a rapper. Still got a uniform, technically. You feel me? Right. It may not be a suit and tie, but I just can't come out the house in anything unless I'm going to take the backlash and other, and it may cost me money. You feel me? Like, if Meek come out tomorrow with lime green Uggs on it, but Uzi can do that. That's for Uzi. But Meek can't do that. You can't see Jadakiss come out tomorrow with the little man purse on.
Hell
He cannot do it. But PNB Rock can. You feel me? Right. So it's for each person, they got their own uniform and its own rules, but they make them guidelines for themselves. You feel me? It just, we get to choose ours, but once we choose them, they chosen for it. So we still got rules. You feel me? But to me, I just feel like, long as I can look at my daughter, look at my mom, look at my sister, my family, my friends, my homies, my niggas, and they still see me, then, and it don't take nothing away from my morals and my principles, and as a man, I'm gonna get this bag. I like money a lot. You feel me? So it's like, if Taylor Swift want to do a record, let's get it right now. You feel me? I don't care how you want to do this record. We gonna do this, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go platinum, and I'm gonna get a Grammy, and I'm still gonna go back to the hood. And I wish these niggas would say something to me. If I'm gonna say to them niggas, yeah, that was 100 grand. You feel me? That was 200 grand.
Right.
We done did way worse shit for way less.
Right.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
These folks out here taking penitentiary chances for $5.
For nothing.
Right.
You feel me? It costs you more than you made. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think sometimes just naturally in the hood, we sometimes focus on people that we don't even respect. You feel me? It's like, you out here doing this shit for motherfuckers. I'm paying my bills. I'm taking care of my family. How you ever gonna be mad at the decisions that I make to take care of my family? You feel me? This shit is putting money in my pocket. If you don't want to do it, cool, that's for you. But don't knock me. You feel me? I'm getting my coins. You do what you do to get yours. Let me get mine.
Right.
No, that's right.
Feel
Listen,
me?
at the end of the
Well, we
day,
can sit here and talk to you for a long
I was
time.
about to say, if y'all not walking away with some jewels from this
Okay,
man,
that's just
I don't
some
know
real
what
shit,
y'all
you know,
doing
man.
right now. So, yo, we greatly appreciate having you.
Oh,
This is
man.
a really great interview, like I said before. We hope to have you come back. Do you
Most
have any
definitely.
anything you want to shout out, like any upcoming shows? Any
Oh man, I got a
projects
couple
you
of events coming up. I actually got an event tomorrow. It's a fashion show with Kicks USA. I'm not exactly sure the location, but just follow me on my social media, Lihtz, LIHTZ _ slug, like SLUGLIFE. Lihtz. If you put LIHTZ, I'm the first person that come up though, and you can really get everything from there. But you know, just working my project about to drop. I'm probably gonna give them an EP first, so really just try and get everything in order. But you know, it's coming.
Awesome. Well, look, we greatly support you.
Support it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Love is mutual. Definitely.
Everybody, again, we have Philly's own Lihtz in the building. He'll be back with more, and it's the Drop Night Show. We're gonna get into this song. It's my favorite song right now. It's my theme music, you know what I mean? And the title's called Theme Music. It's Fabulous and Jada Kiss with Swiss beats on the track. It's called Theme Music. It's the Drop Night Show on Water Ice Radio.
Wow.